The new host of the Hot 97 morning show, Mero, responded back to Akademiks on their morning show today after beefing with Akademiks over the weekend on Twitter. Now, in his response to Akademiks, he made some really big mistakes. One mistake was so big that I think is going to backfire tremendously on him. We'll get back to the video shortly, but I wanted to let you guys know this video is being sponsored by Kalshi. Kalshi is an app where you can make money predicting current events. I put money on what the weather is going to be every day on Kalshi. I check the weather app when I wake up. And really all I do is I look at what the highest temperature is going to be for the day. Then I go on Kalshi and place a prediction on what I think the highest temperature is going to be for the day. I'll say probably 7 out of 10 times my weather prediction hits. Sometimes it doesn't hit. But if you want to get paid by predicting weather on a daily basis, you can do so on Kalshi by clicking the link in my description and downloading the app and using code FLACO to get $10 on your first deposit.
Saying
Go Ether, Shawnee.
Ether, I don't know if we got that instrumental.
Turn me up, bro. Yo, turn me up.
Oh, you got the instrumental.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Listen,
Yes, sir.
bro. That's exactly where I was going.
D.
Oh,
I go Queens, you know what I mean? You want to get a little...
Listen.
The first mistake made to me is kind of gassing it up and bringing the expectation. It's kind of like when Drake and had everybody like posting like the red button on their story before he dropped Family Matters, and then Maul was saying, "Oh my God, I just heard a bomb." And then he dropped Family Matters, and it was a really, 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 really good song, but the expectation was just set too high. That's kind of what this was, all right? Man, I need an ether. I'm about to get dark. But then when he started, it really wasn't dark, if that makes sense, all right? It wasn't dark.
YouTube, internet. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this one time and one time only because, like I said, I'm a father of 4 biological sons and daughters. But there's a lot of sons out there that are not mine. You know what I'm saying? I don't claim you. You're not on my taxes. You're not a dependent, bro. But you depend on me to survive. Because if you don't say my name out your stupid fat mouth, you got no motion.
Another mistake from my perspective, because, I mean, listen, man, all right. I think even the greatest Akademiks hater, even the people who despise Akademiks can tell you that's a lie. If the first thing out of your mouth is a lie for the ether, then everything else is kind of like it's shaky. Because even the people who want you to destroy Akademiks, they watching this and they're like, hold on, bro, like, Akademiks need you to be relevant, bro. We haven't heard of you in, I don't know, like, it's been about like 5 years since you've done anything relevant. Now, I don't got nothing against Mero, bro, because I like Mero. Mero put my guy Kaz on the show. I love Kaz. Kaz one of the OGs in this, man. But Mero was on like the Carmelo show. That was Carmelo's show. And we know it was Carmelo's show because Carmelo replaced Mero with Kaz at some point, and now Mero kind of does it here and there. But yeah, like, if you're not all the way relevant completely, the show ain't doing as great of a numbers as it used to, right? The numbers are abysmal. Even the greatest Akademiks hater would hear you say that Akademiks need you to stay relevant and look at you like, all right, come on, bro. Can we get to the facts, man? All right. Now, the more he talked, though, he made a mistake because he took it from off of Akademiks. You see, Akademiks has a lot of people who don't like him. So you could have very easily kept it on Akademiks, but what he did, the critical error he did was he took it off Akademiks and essentially dissed independent media and reinforced the bourgeoisie stereotypes that we have of these corporate personalities, right? Of these people who are put in positions and these infrastructure placeholders, they come across as bourgeoisie. It's like this little secret organization they have, this little cult, and they're always on the BET Awards and the red carpets, and they always go from Amazon to Apple Music. They always have another job when their one job don't work out. It never fails. They start off at one company, one corporate company. Those numbers are abysmal. It fails. They go to the next company. It fails. Next company. It fails. Next company. It fails. It is a rotation for about 20 to 30 years of doing these jobs with these corporations that don't really produce any numbers. These are just budget fillers, okay? Right? There's some money to allocate. Let's allocate it here. So when he goes off on his tangent and he includes independent media, this is when people like myself takes it personal, And it stops becoming about academics and it becomes about us now that you disrespected.
Make nothing. You don't do nothing. You don't add nothing. You are net negative to hip-hop culture. You are net negative to society, gang. You know what's the saddest thing in the world? Sitting in your mother's basement, getting drunk off alcohol that she probably bought at Costco and talking crazy about anybody who matters more than you. And I know what burns you up inside, champ. I know what that thorn in your side ever since I made you cry live on stream years ago, and you can't let it go. What burns you up inside, my brother, is this. You talk about views, you talk about numbers, you talk about all this other type of stuff, data stuff that you analytical bozo nerds love to just throw up in the air whenever people say, that's whack. That's not culturally relevant. Guess what, fam? Everything I've ever done in my entire career has been culturally relevant. You understand what I'm saying? I'm up here high 97 because you know what we do up here? We move culture. We make culture up here. We make culture. We don't just talk about it. All right, fam? And that's what you do. You a gossiper. You know what I'm saying? You a page 6 in the flesh. You a diabetic page out of the New York Post. You fat hamster. And then people want to get on it, social media, and ask me, yo, but is he lying? Yes, he is. Because let me tell you one thing, champ. You wish you could be me. That's what burns you up inside. You wish you could be us. Us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for Mia Bell. I'm speaking for Kaz. I'm speaking for Shiny Culture because you know what?
This is where he messes up at. So when he says I'm speaking for us, he then begins to make the line in the sand. He draws the line in the sand. There's people like myself who work for these companies like Complex and Apple Music and Spotify and these corporations, and we work for them and we get to be in these big offices and we get to sit down and speak to these people because, you know, they when it comes to these legacy companies and speak to us while y'all just sit on the internet and speak to each other. And he threw shots at Whack 100 for some reason. He threw shots at Tekashi, at Hassan Campbell. He threw shots at, again, independent hip-hop media personalities who essentially paved the way for themselves. And like, I'm like, hold on, bruh. Do you really think the best way to defeat Akademiks is by rallying everybody around him? Like, do you think the best way to defeat Akademiks is by making me pissed, Whack 100 pissed, and every other independent media personalities pissed? We already feel like y'all, now Mero specifically, but I'm talking about as y'all in terms of the corporate placeholders, we already feel like y'all do y'all best jobs to keep us out of these spaces. We already know y'all do y'all best jobs to gatekeep and blackball us out of a lot of things. You just pretty much confirmed it. Like, y'all look down upon people who do independent media. So because y'all, I guess, sit in these offices and sit with these corporations and companies that are legacy media that nobody really watches, and you guys do these interviews, that makes you better than, I guess, the person who is grinding from their home. Like, that makes you better than the person who's making videos in their home, in their basement, and they're grinding and they work themselves up to where they don't need no job no more. That they're the culture, right? That people is coming to them to hear them speak and give their opinion. And for as long as they live, they don't need to go ahead and seek no job. See, Mero started off as one of those creators, but I guess he's now looking down upon one of those creators. Peep how he slickly dissed independent creators and independent media and try to big up, I guess, the corporate placeholders. Now, I don't consider Kaz a corporate placeholders because Kaz my boy, but when he speaks on people getting these specific interviews and opportunities, he's speaking about the corporate placeholders.
When I sit down and talk to somebody, it's Denzel Washington. It's Barack Obama.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It's Matt Damon. You know what I'm saying? It's the names that mean something in the culture of entertainment. When you sit down with a diabetic Tekashi and a guy called Whack 100 and a guy who hangs out in project courtyards yelling at windows. That's who you sit down with, champ. That's not what we do out here. Okay? You see a Mia Bell interview, you know it's popping. You know who she sit down with. You see Kaz interviewing somebody, bro, they probably in the Hall of Fame. You see Shani interviewing somebody, man, that's somebody that's tearing it up worldwide. You understand what I'm saying? You see Cass One, he's in Tokyo. He's in Tokyo. You in your basement in Long Island, maybe, or maybe in Jersey, because nobody knows where you are. We need drones. Mossad can't find you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want no smoke with nobody, especially me, fam, because let me tell you something right now. If it wasn't for them strip club bouncers that form a force field around you, you be food. You a 20-piece chicken nugget with sweet and sour sauce. All right? And let me tell you something. The last thing I'll say about you is that you a one-trick pony. You know how to do one thing, and that's exploit poverty, misery, and violence for your own monetary gain. And not all money is good money, but I'm good, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my koi fish. Shout out to Crunchy Black. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Derek Jeter.
See how he listed, hey, man, when we do an interview, but the difference is when you do an interview, let's just say you do an interview for Complex, right? When you do an interview for Complex, because Obama will come and sit down with Complex because Complex is legacy media and it's safe. You do an interview for Complex and Complex gains, let's say, 1 million views. And they gain, let's say, 20,000 subscribers from that interview. Those are Complex views. Those are Complex numbers. That raises Complex stock, not yours. Complex could fire you today and you lose it all. Or if you do, let's say, an interview with High 97, those boost High 97 numbers. Those give them subscribers. It really doesn't benefit you much outside of a paycheck. Yo, we've seen people have these corporate jobs, be these corporate placeholders, and then they get replaced. And then we never hear from them again. Look at all the dudes on This Is 50. Where are they now? Build your own. Don't let Cass convince you, hey, because these like mainstream artists will go to legacy media before they come to go to an independent creator. Don't let that convince you or steer you away from doing your own thing and building your own thing, bro. It's simple as that. Now, to claim that Akademiks live in his mom's basement or doing like, bro, you are about like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years late, bro. Like Akademiks is, you know, is well-to-do. He's a millionaire now. He has his own mansion, all right, in Jersey. He's straight, okay? He's great. He's good, right? But I just didn't like the fact that, not Kaz, but Mero, like, took that stance of, oh, because we do this type of content, we're less than, because y'all do interviews for legacy media and corporations, and y'all build up platforms that y'all don't own. Nah, I'd much rather build up my own platform. Maybe I'm not big enough right now to get in Obama, but if I could make these videos and podcasts with my homies and talk to my homies and get paid for it and grow an audience, then F it. If it takes me 10 years, it takes me 10 years to do it. I'm not stopping though. But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe that Mero cooked Akademiks, or do you feel like Mero made a fool out of himself? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video here somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here somewhere on my screen to find out why exactly French Montana is getting exposed today by one of his homies. I'm going to see you guys in this French Montana video. And to support this video, please click the like button and then click the hype button afterwards. The hype button is the most important thing. That's how you push my videos in the algorithm. So please, please, please send me a hype. I'm going to see you guys in this video here somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.